Oh. Psalm 91, a prayer for battle, a prayer for people in distress, people in fear, people in disease, people at war, a prayer that is relevant for today. Recently, I've been learning a lot about righteousness, both in my fellowship and in my own personal life as I read my scriptures. How righteousness drew me to this, I don't know. But what I do know is this is a wonderful psalm, probably written by Moses. We just don't know. But the beauty lies in its poeticness, its strength in telling us about God and his salvation. And why it's relevant today, this psalm, is because it speaks to today. It speaks to pandemics. It speaks to missiles being thrown at countries, countries being attacked by the enemy. It speaks of a place where we're in constant stress, where late at night our misery and our grief and our anger and our despondency come to haunt us. And we reflect on that instead of reflecting on God. So I've translated Psalm 91 as best I can for today, and I'm going to read it to you. So this is Psalm 91. And please remember, this is my own translation. Any flaws, I apologize for. But I've translated it from the original Hebrew as best I can. And this is for you, my dear friends, a psalm that speaks to this age. Let us go with it. Psalm 91. He that lives, rests and finds peace in the place of protection, in the sanctuary of the highest, great mighty God, shall rest, find peace, and live under the shadow of the Almighty. I will think in my heart, in the centre of my very being, and say of the Lord God, I am my sanctuary and my stronghold, my God of power and my pastor and shepherd. In him will I trust, and so be bold, have courage, and be confident. Because he shall deliver and rescue you from the trap of the trapper and from the engulfing destruction of pandemic disease. He shall shut you in and put a fence all around you with his feathers. Beneath his wings you shall flee. Run to for protection and put your trust and faith in his truth, faithfulness, and stability, hook and shield. You shall not be afraid of what terrifies you in the dark, late hours of the night, and even be scared of the arrow that hovers or flies by day. For the pandemic disease that walks and moves around in darkness, calamity and gloom, for the destruction that devastates at midday. 1,000 of your troop and company shall fall, and be cast down, and waste away at your side, and 10,000 a multitude at your right hand, but it shall not approach or come near to you. Only together with your eyes, physically, mentally, and spiritually, shall you regard and consider the retribution of the guilty and the wicked. Because you have made the Lord God I am my refuge and sanctuary, the Most High God, the place where you live. Because he shall appoint his angels to take care and have appointment over you, to keep watch and guard you in the total duration of your journey and all your ways. They shall carry you and lift you up continually, up in their hands, just in case you stumble and hit your foot forcibly against a tablet or stone. You shall tread upon the lion that roars, the venomous snake, the young lion and the dragon you shall trample underfoot. Because he has attached, put his love upon over me, therefore I will bring him to safety. I will put him on high and venerate him, because he has known, recognized, and understood my name and reputation. He shall call and summon me, and I will respond and answer him. I, with him in trouble and distress, I will deliver him and honor him abundantly. With the long days of life, I will satisfy and fulfill and complete him, and exhibit and show to him my salvation, deliverance, prosperity, and victory. Wow. Isn't that an awesome psalm? It's a brilliant psalm. It's a psalm that talks of God, talks of our salvation. It looks to Jesus and it looks at our response to him. It looks to the cross. It looks to the fact that when we've got the cross and we've seen his love in action, we shall know him. We shall be with him. We shall have his protection. He shall guide and help us. But it also talks of those things that would come against us. Satan, for instance, is mentioned. Remember, Jesus went into the pits of hell and trod on Satan. Oh, yes, he did. And here we have all the references to Satan, or at least some of them in scriptures. As we look at this psalm, we can see that Satan's called a dragon. We see that in Revelations 12. He appears as a dragon. In Genesis 3, we have him as the viper. And of course, John the Baptist called the religious who were under Satan's guidance vipers. And then in 1 Peter 5:8, we have the lion. Satan roars like a lion. He isn't the lion, but he roars like a lion, tries to scare us, tries to manipulate us through fear. And Jesus took all that when he went to the cross and he trod on it. And this psalm makes a reference to that, as we see. We also see that God stands against all that would come against us in illness and in poverty and in all those things that would try to break us up. God is there for us, trying to break through. We had these things given to us at the cross. All we have to do is accept them, no matter what any religious person will say. Remember that John the Baptist in Luke 3 calls those Pharisees vipers. When I first read this, I must admit, and I was translating it, I couldn't help but think of the missiles over Israel. I couldn't help but think of the pandemic we've recently been through. This psalm speaks to today, and the fact that God has everything in hand if we believe he does, and we let him work through us. This isn't about sovereignty. This isn't about God being sovereign over all the earth. No, that's a fable and a myth. Because if God was sovereign over all the earth, everybody would be saved, and everybody isn't. This psalm is a psalm of love. It's a psalm saying God is here, and we now live with him, and he lives in us. It's a psalm that promotes God and shows us his salvation and power. I pray that works through you this week. I pray that God's power and salvation is in you. I know this has uplifted me this week with various things. Various things have been going on, health things, monetary things, business things, all happening at once, spiritual attacks. But we overcame, myself and my wife, and you can this week. Honestly, it works. Believe in the Lord, come under his feathers. Look to the cross and what he's done for us. Stop looking at yourself and your sin. Look to the one that saved you from sin. And this is what this psalm is saying. Look to the protector. Look to the one that protects you. It says in verse 14, because he has attached put his love over upon me, therefore I will bring him to safety. I will put him on high and venerate him, because he has known, recognized, and understood my name and reputation. His name is Jesus. His reputation is he saved us on the cross. Isn't that great news? Isn't that brilliant news? I think it is. You should too. So that's this week's Psalm 91. A great psalm, a psalm of God's love protection, a psalm of his salvation, a psalm that says, you know what, no matter what comes against you, I'm there with you. I'm there to help you. I'm there to protect you. Great news, brilliant news. I like it. I like it a lot. See you on the flip side. God bless you now.